Good, happy Tuesday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. First up, we're following breaking news. Senate confirms Christopher Wray as next FBI director. The Senate confirmed Christopher Wray as the next FBI director on Tuesday, according to several reports. Wray, who is now a private lawyer, was a top Department of Justice official during the George W. Bush administration. He was recommended unanimously by the Judicial Committee on July 20th. He will succeed James Comey, who was fired by President Donald Trump absurdly for his handling of the investigation into Hillary Clinton's email practices. Though the president later said he had the Russia investigation on his mind when he axed Comey. During his confirmation hearings, the Yale-trained lawyer pledged his independence, reportedly telling a Senate panel he would not be pulling punches in the position and that he resign if he is asked to do so, to do something illegal or immoral. And there you go on that report. Sanctuary Place back open after fumes force evacuation. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
Debit card. You have Wells.
All right, yeah. Open up the app.
Okay.
And turn off your card.
Tuesday morning, the fire department was back to check the building on Chestnut Street, looking to make sure the hazardous fumes were gone.
We didn't think that, we would be overwhelmed with the fumes that we had in there.
But that is exactly what happened Monday at Serenity Place in Manchester. A contractor applying a paint sealant was unable to ventilate the building properly because the windows in the former police station don't open.
When the companies first arrived, they had 750 parts per million, and after ventilating the building, we got it down to about 7 parts per million.
After checking the building, though, the fire department today was able to deliver the good news.
This morning, they were 0 parts per million.
Actually, it felt fine walking in. We are ready to operate as normal.
Jamie Hill says there was a slight smell in the hallway, but the offices were clear, adding that while they were starting to cancel some early morning outpatient appointments, the disruption was minimal.
As soon as we got the word that we could go back in, we immediately stopped canceling appointments. So we are business as usual, and we have our appointments that are starting to show up as we speak.
The building also houses a cafe that will have to throw out all of its food and then thoroughly clean the space. The health department believes the cafe will be given the okay to reopen later today. In Manchester, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Elderman ejected from practice after fight with teammate. Let's take a listen to this video from WCVB Boston.
Needs much more than providing you with a place to bank. We offer a wide range of products with some of the most competitive rates of any bank on the North Shore. Call or visit us online at institutionforsavings.com.
And that is footage and things from the fight. Patriots wide receiver Julian Edelman has been told to leave practice after a fight with cornerback Stephen Gilmore. According to fans in the stands and ESPN, Mike Edelman appeared to take expectations with Gilmore holding him and then wrestling him on the ground. Mike said photos from fans in the stands showed the confrontation. Gilmore was also asked to leave. The incident lasted about 10 to 15 seconds. Mike said Bill Belichick has non-negotiable practice rules, including ejecting for fighting. Woman found passed out with infant inside Skaheg apartment. Let's take a listen to this video from WMTW Jim Keithley.
You might be able to hear loud music coming from the second floor. That's Stephanie Freeman's apartment. A DHHS caseworker just left. She tried to knock on the door to get her attention. A neighbor did, and so did we, but Stephanie Freeman didn't answer. Police say when they responded to a noise complaint early Sunday morning, Freeman didn't answer the door then either.
She's been playing the radio loud at night, and we've asked her a few times to shut it down.
Neighbors say they witnessed all the commotion as police tried to get in.
And she wouldn't answer the door, so next thing I know, I look outside, they got a stepladder going up to her window, and they got in the window that way.
Officers say they peered through the window and saw Freeman in a fetal position, her 2-year-old daughter lying by her side. Police entered the apartment and called the living conditions atrocious. They say mother and daughter lying in cat feces, vomit, empty prescription bottles, and beer cans.
It's crazy, like, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody's not perfect, so everybody learns from mistakes, and this time she messed up, and hopefully she will better her life because she is a good person. She loves her daughter unconditionally.
Police were able to wake Freeman, but they say she passed out again. She and her daughter eventually taken to the hospital to be checked out, and then she was arrested and charged with endangering the welfare of a child.
People just need to lay off and, give her a break. Let her get the help she needs. Let her, get her child back.
Police say that Freeman's infant daughter is being cared for by a family member. In the meantime, Freeman's out on bail. In Skowhegan, Jim Keithley, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Now let's take a look at your markets and see how your markets closed this evening. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green and went up. Your S&P 500 Index closed in the green and went up. VIX NASDAQ closed in the green and went up. RUSS 2K closed in the green and went up, and VIX closed in the red and went down. Dow approaches 22,000, closes at record high. U.S. stocks closed higher on Tuesday, the first trading day of August, as the Dow Jones Industrial Average approached another milestone. Apple jumped 6% to record high after earnings beat estimates. If consumers are holding out for the next iPhone, they've still been spending plenty of money at Apple stores in the meantime. Apple reported fiscal third quarter earnings on Tuesday that beat analysts' expectations and revenue that topped estimates as it sold more iPhones than expected. White House reviewed Fox News story about Seth Rich before publication, lawsuit alleges. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
Only a few truly move us. With over 1 million on the road, Lexus hybrids are always charged and always ready. Experience amazing.
The president had no knowledge of the story, and it's completely untrue that he or the White House involvement in the story. And beyond that, this is ongoing litigation, and I'd refer you to the actual parties involved, which aren't the White House.
Oh, does it disturb you that the press secretary for the President of the United States, who just gave this incredibly passionate pushback on us for focusing on Russia, does it disturb you? You just sped right past this. Does it disturb you that there's an allegation out there in a lawsuit, and Sean Spicer admitted meeting with these two individuals, that this was discussed in your White House?
He met with members of the media. I don't find that to be a strange thing. You guys are all members of the media.
He was pushing a story that was later retracted because it was false. He met with that reporter, and he met with the campaign builder. Does it disturb you? Does it say anything about this White House that you would entertain that kind of story?
It doesn't bother me that the press secretary would take a meeting with somebody involved in the media about a story. None of that was disclosed. They had a conversation, and that was the end of it. You guys come to us with stories all day. I've taken meetings with the majority of the people in this room. I don't always know the nature of the story of which you're coming to talk to me about, but it's my job to talk to you, to listen, and I'm responding. The president didn't have knowledge of the story. The White House didn't have any involvement in the story, and beyond that, it's ongoing litigation that doesn't involve anybody in the building, and so I'd refer you to the parties that it does.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Also, President Trump and White House officials allegedly reviewed a Fox News story about the death of a Democratic National Committee staffer, Seth Rich, before it was published and pushed for it to be published immediately, according to an explosive lawsuit filed today. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with more great news. Good night, everyone. Bye.